Morning, friends. It's Valerie Ling here. I'm on my way to the Blue Mountains to present a workshop, ironically, which is about noticing our stress reactions and instead of putting a shield up, to be able to reflect and then take constructive action. Those words, I am so close to burnout right now, were the last words that I left with my team yesterday, and it shocked me. I think that sometimes you can just be running without realizing that you're not adjusting. So, a couple of things have happened. With all of my best of intentions, my practices, my normal way of recovering and retreating have been significantly impacted in this last half of the year. Include with that a number of things that have been outside of my control. Here comes my husband. He's going to start the car. So, let me just buckle up. Number of things that have come up for that have been outside of anything that we could have predicted either. So what you've got is an inundation of things that are coming into my world. And I went through my diary. I couldn't delete anything. There's just nothing I could delete. So nothing in my external environment or even increasing staff resources or delegation, none of that could have improved. Hey, Josh, I'm just doing a Facebook Live here. Okay. Don't say anything embarrassing. And so I came home yesterday and I was like, no, what is going on? Like, surely there is always a way, right, to figure out what is here in the equation. And as I was struggling with it yesterday, I knew that one major tank that's being impacted for me at the moment is my ability and space to just reflect. And yesterday I made a priority for that. My lovely husband, who's sitting next to me here, knew that I needed to do that. And so I reflected and I identified them. And as soon as I identified that emotion, I'm embarrassed. I realized why I was struggling so much to use my emotional life to figure out what next steps I needed to take. I'm not someone who usually gets embarrassed, am I, Josh? I don't really get embarrassed a lot. Skin, so I'm not very practiced in the emotion of being embarrassed. Oh, we're back. And so once I recognized that this was not a practiced emotion for me, and therefore I didn't have a roadmap, a practice roadmap to respond to it. Of course, I was embarrassed that I felt embarrassed, and then I was embarrassed that I'm not very practiced in feeling embarrassed. Having then realized that it was embarrassment, I did some internal work to figure out, okay, where is an embarrassment from? And I realized it largely comes from because I do so much in burnout prevention. I'm embarrassed that I'm feeling tired. I'm embarrassed that I haven't been able to figure out my way out of this hole to get to the point of adjustment. Now, once I've identified that, I think I was just able to give myself permission to feel embarrassed. Hey, guess what? A normal human reaction most people feel. This is a real opportunity to just let the embarrassment come through. Reached out to my best friend, had a really lovely chat over the phone because who are you going to feel embarrassed with? Your loved one, your husband is sitting right here, right next to me. Your kids, I happen to have two of them, and I think they're very happy to know that I can feel embarrassed. And my best friend, who knows me so well, and was able to just help me to figure out where the core thing is. And then, do you know what? I've done two things in the last month without even thinking about it. So I'm also embarrassed to tell you that my most recent blood test results from a GP weren't that fantastic. I've always had great blood works come back. And so what did I do? I reacted and put some really strange things into my life that further restricted my sense of well-being. I was now monitoring these crazy things that I was eating and trying to do all kinds of weird things to my routines and my days, trying to, like, almost as if like this is kind of a magic fix, right? My blood is going to become superior now with these things. So everything, my routines, my schedules, just being totally disrupted. And so, do you know what? Yesterday, having attended to the emotion, having attended to where the gaps were, I just ate really, really well. I had like 2 servings of dinner. I slept really, really, really well. Woke up this morning and felt tons better. And then insight came to my mind. One, I cannot get out of of all of my external commitments. Like, you cannot like cancel a conference talk that you committed to. I can appeal to my team for some grace and compassion and actually cancel a lot of our internal meetings. And so this morning I woke up and quickly sent a couple of emails to check in with our team to say, do we want to delay these timelines? Basically what I said, I'm under-resourced. I'm trying to catch up right now with my internal resources, which means I'm likely to push a whole bunch of things down the chain to you guys, which I now know is going to impact your own workload. So I'm just checking in to see if we need to adjust the whole quarter's expectations and projects down a line, because I know it's going to take me a while to calibrate back up to provide um, their input. And it was just a wonderful exercise this morning to receive that care back and that perspective back from the team as early as 8 in the morning, because some of them started at 7:30. I was just getting emails back saying, we've met, we've talked about it, we've figured it out, we think this is the way forward, you know, thank you for whatever, whatever. And just one line, because as you can see, I'm in the car now on the way to a speaking engagement this morning, having recalibrated. I just sent them one line. I thank you and I trust you, onwards. And now here we are. So noticing what we're feeling, accepting that there's a lot of things externally that we won't be able to do, not feeling embarrassed and ashamed that it's probably a bunch of things that we need to just pull back and give ourselves permission to say, I'm just not having enough of the ingredients of some basic things that I need. Things need to be simplified. Things need to be, I need to seek help. I need to reach out and I need to adjust. And you know what? It's okay. The emotion of embarrassment has actually turned now to feeling empowered, but also deeply encouraged that there were people who came and responded and cared. All right, it's time for Josh and I to have a really big, really awesome breakfast. See you later.